Hey everyone, welcome back to Big Data and Dim Sum. I'm Ryan.
Michael here.
And today we have a very special episode for you. The episode's special because we're actually having an episode. It's been like it's been like a year since we've done this. And there's a lot of reasons why we haven't been. We'll get into that a bit. Nothing really serious, just kind of life having a lot of adventures. But we want to get back into it this time around, kind of talk through our favorite memories from the past season. And also go through what we envision for the next season and what we want everyone to experience through this experience of Big Data and Dim Sum. So, yeah, man, Michael, what's been up for the past year since we've done this podcast?
Yeah, I mean, as you put it, it's probably been over a year.
Yeah.
And we're really sorry to our listeners out there who really wanted to listen to us and we just weren't able to put out content.
Yeah.
We've been busy and not too busy at the same time. So we've just been enjoying life.
Excuses. We've had really good excuses for the past year.
Yeah. Bottom line is we're back. We're trying to make some good quality content for you guys to just enjoy. One thing you'll notice is that we're actually on video now, so you'll see what we look like. And it'll feel maybe a bit more like you're in the room with us. But
yeah, you're sitting right over there, actually.
Yeah, we're looking right at you now. Yeah. So that's a new aspect to our show. But yeah, I mean, over the last year, it's been crazy. So there's been a lot of changes in my life. Been able to travel quite a bit, so that's been a lot of fun, man. Just hopping all over.
Where you been? Where you been traveling? Well, I know this, but let's let the viewers
for
know.
You listeners, I mean, just I went to Europe for the first time. I had never actually gone. I went to Spain for quite a while, just hopping all around. Bunch of different areas in Spain. Was able to go to the Caribbean for a wedding, and particularly in Jamaica, and then did some family travel, domestic and slightly, I guess, international, but wouldn't consider it. But yeah, just all over, man. And I've been having a good time. And it's been good. But yeah. What's new with you, man?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a similar theme too. Like, a lot of this past year has been a lot of traveling. It's basically been a lot of, for work, seeing friends, visit my girlfriend, but a lot of it has been really cool just exploring a lot of North America. That's been the biggest thing. I experienced like winters colder than I've ever experienced. Like, I dropped in Canada like over the winter, and like it was like -40 the day I got there. That was pretty crazy.
Brutal.
Yeah, it was really brutal. But I've also
coming from LA, guys.
Yeah, coming from LA.
We don't get the seasons here.
Yeah, it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be, though. Additionally, like, it's been a lot of different type of things I've been trying. I recently moved back, down to LA. And that's been a really cool experience, just kind of, recentering, seeing old friends again, and trying new hobbies that I haven't been into. A lot of it's been more on my creative side. Like, for those of you who don't know me, like, in addition to liking tech and big data, as Michael always refers to me as loving, I really love, music and, performing arts and that type of stuff. So it's been cool being back in kind of the mecca of it. And so it's been a lot of just like routine travel. It's been very like just like cycle on, cycle off. But it's given me a lot more like perspective and meeting a lot of different new people. So that's been a really cool part of, what you mentioned of traveling.
Yeah.
And also just, trying new hobbies.
Definitely. So bottom line, it's been a very eventful, insightful year for the both of us. And we're back bigger and better than
ever.
With Big Data and Dim Sum podcast.
Bigger data, bigger dim sum.
Yeah, exactly. And we're super excited for this coming season. But for all you listeners and I guess now viewers out there, we'd love to do a little quick recap. If you want to take it away, you can start us off on last season, and then I'm happy to dive in.
Yeah, man. I mean, last season was, I think the part that I love most about last season, honestly, was we just had this vision, and I just remember listening back to this episode yesterday, where we're explaining why I want to do Big Data and Dim Sum. It's like very formal and whatnot, but like I'm just really glad we did it. I think it's like what we wanted was that experience of our conversations, the stupid, shitty ideas we always talk about. And also that really like fun, but like very like, hey, what if this were an actual idea coming to life? And I think over the last season, what I really loved was it was really an expression of like just both of us. Like we got some of our closest homies on. We talked about really funny ideas. We really just got people to talk about what they're passionate about. Like there were like episodes where I learned a lot more about people I didn't know too well, like Sheldon, like about, like his obsession with running and how you guys should still follow him on Strava, like that's the biggest
Man's
plug.
Committed. He ran a half marathon not too long ago. So for those listeners that were about a year ago or so, he's been keeping up running and he's trucking through. So
yeah, and that's been a consistent theme. Like it's cool hearing just about different people's grinds. But yeah, I think the most memorable part of last season is just kind of how we just navigated through starting this thing, and just being able to come up with ideas, invite our friends on, get people hyped about it. Yeah, last season was very limited in the sense that we really didn't try reaching out to a broader audience. We just kind of linked it. And like for reference, like our number one like way to reach us was email, and emails bounced. Sorry, Amy, one of our friends who wrote us a very lengthy, thoughtful email. That was not us. That was Google Mail.
It's very unfortunate actually, because we had some very loyal, maybe one very loyal listener who reached out to us over email and actually hit our inbox, but it never actually reached us. I mean, we never saw the email. So
this is our public apology video.
Deepest
right
apologies,
yeah. On camera, you're getting it right here.
We've grown. We've come a long way.
Yeah. These are not crocodile tears. These are legitimate. We're sorry.
Yeah.
Joking aside, though, season 1 was great for that aspect of really just getting the idea out there, seeing what people thought about it. And overall, I think for us, because we were going through a lot of transitions as we started the podcast into the middle of it with traveling stuff, work transitions for both of us, that we both kind of just, we didn't have as much time to catch up like we used to do when we lived in the same city.
Yeah.
So I think that it was really cool for us to have that time every week to just talk with each other, catch up, see how things are going. And I think a lot of, this season will have that aspect and that feeling to it where, you're catching up with us too, like hearing the stories of what you missed while we were gone. Or I'm also catching up on stories I haven't heard since, I haven't seen this guy in a while. But yeah, I think that was my best part of season 1. It's really like a touchy-feely answer, but it's really the vibe of it, the inspiration,
I love it.
The people that we care about, and just getting this idea off the ground, so... Yeah, but love to hear, what you think, Michael. Like, what's on your mind about last season?
Yeah, I mean, thinking about last season, it was a lot of fun, and kind of to echo similarly to what you talked about, and just like getting this thing started, that was huge, right?
Yeah,
because it gave 100%. Us a forum just to talk to each other like we used to.
Yeah.
Amidst our very busy schedules in a seemingly busy city, right?
Yeah.
Like San Francisco. So I appreciate that aspect, and I really loved bringing on our guests. That just our network, our friends to just come on and shoot the shit with us. That was so much fun.
Yeah.
Just picking their brains, hearing what creative ideas they brought in and what, maybe some not so creative ideas. I'm just fucking with everyone.
I know.
We're just playing.
All the ideas we had last season.
We loved them. It was great.
So fun.
They were great.
And hopefully they turned to real businesses because they were actually not shitty ideas.
Yeah, they weren't.
Any of them were shitty.
They weren't. They all turned out pretty viable, which is the premise of our show, right?
Yeah.
We wanted it to be like, let's see if we can make these shitty ideas viable. That was at its core. That's what it was. It wasn't like let's just fuck around with these shitty ideas. It's like let's see if we can polish this turd and make it into something. And I think we were brought a lot of really good ideas last season. So
that's quote of the year though. Polish this turd and turn it into something. That's like Michael Kwan 2023 type of shit.
That's something. So we're looking forward to many more polished turds to come. And we're gonna kind of reinvent the format maybe, and we're gonna play around with certain things. So bear with us, but it's gonna be a lot of fun this coming season. We're just happy we're getting this, back up and running, and we're just super stoked.
Yeah, totally. And I know we're teasing that a lot, like what the format changes are, what we're trying to do. They'll come in due time. We'll talk more about it at the end of this episode, but I do want to just kind of talk more about season 1 because we did mention we want to do more of a recap today. I actually have a couple of things I'm curious about.
Yeah.
So like for season 1, what was your favorite idea that we explored with any guest? Or it could even be what were your set of favorite ideas that you were like, oh, that actually was a really cool idea,
Yeah. It's a good question. I mean, just off the top of my head, and I think, it's a similar sentiment from listeners. It's just the idea that Sheldon brought to the show.
Oh, yeah.
I thought that was very... I mean, it's been over a year, and I don't think the generative AI hype train had just peaked yet.
Yeah.
So it was kind of, on time in that sense, in terms of like, being able to analyze your head shape and then basically generate and produce kind of images and hairstyles that would best fit your head shape.
Yeah.
And that's kind of, I feel like it was, with the time of this whole generative hype train, and I feel like it wasn't necessarily that idea didn't necessarily stem from the environment that was going on. It was kind of something that he had experienced in an issue that a lot of men experience trying to find the proper barber. So I thought that was very interesting, and I appreciated that idea.
Yeah, that's a really good point. And I really like how there's a lot of like sensibility to it too. Like we're talking about, like it's not just like the hairstyles, but like fashion, facial hair, like certain things where like I think, you know, guys nowadays care a lot more about fashion, and like it's a lot of content out there that's like focused on it, but how do you make it a more like tangible, personalized thing?
Yeah.
It's really interesting how you kind of brought up like how this idea also has a lot more like relevance now that there is generative AI, because like this stuff is more possible and like it's being used in similar fashions. No pun intended. Actually, probably pun intended.
Pun intended. It's always pun intended.
It's always pun intended. But you know what I mean? Like it's cool that like as things become realistic, like some of these ideas that seem ridiculous because, you know, you would think, how do you even do this?
Yeah.
It's like that question gets answered with just technology advancing.
Yeah.
But I think it was just fun to think about, like, you know, because like the bad haircut stories that we all talked about, and even think about now, where it just ruins your day, and you're like, yeah, I mean, the easy solution to that is like if your barber knows every time, just like ordering a Chipotle bowl again, you
it's
add
so
to your
relevant.
again.
It's so relevant. It's so relevant. Just to bottom line for the viewers, listeners, and for probably our sake too, maybe we should just recap what exactly the ideas were from each of those episodes, just briefly. Because we, to be quite frank, maybe we don't remember.
We don't remember, but it might actually be very entertaining because we're playing telephone with ourselves.
Exactly,
like,
exactly. It doesn't mean those episodes weren't meaningful to us. Like, during the time, it was super interesting, and we would have, you know, been able to recount it. But it's been a year, and like we said, we did a little bit of prep work, but not really. So
we improved it.
Let's just run with it. All right, first person we brought on.
Actually, hold up.
It was just our ideas first.
So we brought ourselves on first.
Right. It was you first with the placeholder
ideas. I can give a quick description. And
if you want to, or you know, I mean, the viewers can go listen.
Let's do one line. One line.
Or you can just read the description.
Yeah, you can go listen to every episode.
We're on Spotify.
Yeah, we're on Spotify now.
Again, we're back on Spotify.
Yeah, some of you have realized that we have an Instagram account now. Shout out to our social media manager, Cam. And hey, she's our manager. Anyways, second thing is we also we you don't have to reach us on email anymore. It's still bigdata.dimsum, but on Instagram.
Yeah.
And
I think this will be a fun little exercise, just trying to remember what the hell we talked about last season.
Yeah. Because I remember the conversations we had. I don't remember
the specific ideas and the thesis afterwards. Fuck that. Who knows?
Okay.
Go ahead.
Let's keep it brief though, because we want to get people on
one-liner.
So placeholders, pretty much. What if you could book a placeholder in case you're running late to something?
Bam.
Doctor's appointment, etc.
Bam. Second was an idea of gambling on your everyday life, right?
Yeah,
betting on what happens on the day-to-day, whether you can take upside or, you know, short against it. Certain events in the day, like going to get a haircut, right? If the haircut turns out good or bad.
Yeah, exactly.
betting on stuff like that. Yeah. Third, we had Roy on the show. He talked about noise canceling.
Oh yeah, noise canceling, because he was an RA. He was talking about like there were always noise complaints, but what if you could
set up speakers that basically encapsulate the noise in a certain area within the realms of that.
So you could throw like ragers, but not have to worry about that.
That was that. Fourth was.
We brought Mel on, right? Was it Mel?
It was Mel. Yeah.
It was a concert one. I think we really liked that one.
Being able to relive your best experiences. It created a highlight reel for you based on your peaks and your troughs of your emotions, right? To measure your heart rate.
Exactly.
And shit like that, I think.
A lot of biometrics stuff. Yeah. Which I think we were on that train last year because we went to shows. Like we would both went to Coachella.
This is very This is very.
Mel goes to every concert for K-pop, so we were like, oh yeah, that'd be awesome to experience, relive it.
Yeah. Okay, that was episode 5.
5, and then 6 was Cali. Drip culture.
Yes, that was hydroponics. Right?
Hydroponics,
growing, vertical farming.
Very sustainable. Yeah.
Do you remember the actual business?
I think it was like a grocery store.
Yes, very sustainable grocery store.
Yeah,
very
which sounds the most realistic. Like it was not even a shitty idea to begin with.
Yeah,
it actually sounds realistic.
Like something Erewhon would just gobble up.
Yeah, it sounds like Erewhon will do that. Like their new one in Santa Monica. You know.
I got worried a bit that we wouldn't remember that one, just based off mind not recalling what exactly it was, but thank you for remembering. It was a grocery store.
It was a grocery store.
Yeah, it was a sustainably sourced grocery store, which was very niche, but it actually turned out to be a very viable idea. If I remember
it did,
correctly.
yeah. We were thinking like, people love
Kelly.
the whole like the green tech and ESG.
Yeah, agri-tech. Yeah,
it's still fire now. It's most relevant now, or with all the
very
the
very
tax
relevant.
breaks and stuff.
And then the last one we just touched on,
shear style
with Sheldon. Yeah, basically analyzing your face shape, and maybe determining what's your best haircut for your face style, face shape.
Yeah, basically just fashion, like personalized fashion type of thing, as the extensible goal.
All right, so that was the recap.
That
was the recap
1.
for basically season 1 and the episodes we did. Candidly, we did film or record a couple of extra episodes, just me and Ryan, that maybe we thought for the later day we could release.
Yeah,
just for
honestly,
fun.
we just want to tease that a bit too.
Yeah, I'm just teasing everything.
Yeah,
we
just have
tease.
content.
We're just so excited to be back. We're teasing everything.
We are. We're giving you all the cards. We're showing you the full house. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, but I think with that said, like you already shared your favorite, which was the sheer style. Yeah, I would say I really enjoyed the placeholder idea for the practicality. Nice. I'm not saying it because it's my idea. Like, okay, I gotta give credit to my homie, like Jason Lay. Like, Jason gave me that idea because we were like standing outside waiting for ramen, as I mentioned in that episode. But I've had so many occurrences where I'm like just like 15 minutes late.
Yeah.
And
you don't gotta explain the value prop, bro. Yeah, you don't gotta explain.
I loved it because it just like I feel that problem so deeply. It's like super practical, and like I guess there's just a lot of realistic things that tie to it. But I guess that's like out of practicality. But in terms of like the thing that I find like the coolest, like just thinking about the tech of it and like reliving experiences, is that whole the one we did with Melody on the reliving your concert experiences, because there is kind of this like spiritual experience some people get when they're at concerts, and I feel like a lot of it is like reliving and recreating that experience that just isn't possible just from videos. You know? So being able to redo that with some type of hardware, or like ways clips are shot, or ways to like sync with other people's experiences, like I think the whole just concert experience type of app, I find like really dope. Like there's so much about it that like is just like cool and fun and memorable. But I don't know, I feel like these are some ideas where like like I mentioned, they're very viable and relevant to people, and they start off from kind of just a shitty problem we have. Yeah,
love that. I just thinking more back on what you said about Mel's idea, just made me think like being able to relive your experiences, your highlights based on biometric data. Be quite interesting to know like how much of that was facilitated or enhanced due to maybe some drug activity. Right versus like a natural substance.
That's true.
So to be able to replicate that, it might be pretty difficult when you're playing it back. But maybe there's some neural link that you see that time and how you're feeling at that moment, and you're able to kind of replay that just subconsciously.
Yeah, or it recommends you drugs to take. I'm kidding.
Generative, right?
Generative, yeah.
It's all generative.
It's just like, given this drop in this experience, you gotta drop some E right here. Like,
all right, we're not promoting anything.
We're not at all. Like it's a joke.
let's keep
stay
this.
in school. Don't do drugs, kids. Yeah.
How many kids are gonna be listening to this anyways? we don't know. How many people? We also don't know.
No. Hopefully, people love this.
Yeah.
But I think that's it for my question of what our favorite episodes are. Anything about last season you're curious about?
Yeah, I would love to hear.
On?
Like, I guess what were some of the things that maybe one thing or the main thing that you would like to have changed from last season, if anything at all? Format wise, topic wise, production wise, across everything.
Yeah, that's a really good question and a good segue. But I'd say in terms of those multiple things you mentioned, I think I have one for each one. So I think content-wise, what I would change is I think I would make it less formulaic, because I look back on the episodes I really enjoyed. And it's just, really about natural conversation. I shouldn't say the episodes I really enjoyed, because I enjoyed every single one. But I think maybe the segments of each episode that I enjoyed, It's when it kind of went off script.
Flows.
It just flowed, right? Because
yeah.
I think a lot of it was we had this aspirational goal of being really natural, like kind of we're just us having a conversation right now.
Yeah.
But I think some of it became very like formulaic because we had a set of questions we wanted to ask. We wanted to be an interview, but I feel like there is kind of an art to interview someone in a way that sounds like a conversation. Right?
Yeah.
Like I think watching a lot of good podcasters, like I really like Dax Shepard, for example. His ability to interview someone is just so like top notch that it's a flowy conversation.
It takes a level of emotional intelligence, like knowing when to prod, when to pull back, and let the interviewee speak, right? Yeah. Knowing when to poke and when to kind of fall back and let the conversation kind of ride out. It's a very valuable skill. Like some of the best podcasters and even interviewers and speakers in general know when exactly to push on the brakes and then when exactly to push on the gas. Like it's quite interesting to watch.
Yeah, exactly. And it's cool that it's an art and it's something you can practice. So I think that's something that I would love to see us do this season. It's kind of like we kind of realized that about, the formulaic aspect of last season. But I think as we're getting more comfortable, like we have more of a established setup, we're more comfortable in general with this format because we had never done a podcast.
Yeah.
We were thinking it's just being easy as a conversation, but there were periods where we were just like a bit tense going in because we're like, oh, wait, like what should this be about? What should we focus on? Like you focus more on the planning and details instead of just like,
Yeah, I will say it's good to have some aspect, some formulaic aspect just to keep you on track because sometimes we lose track of time. We had some longer episodes just because it was great because it flowed naturally. But
I love those. Because we were just like, oh shit, it's like 1 hour.
Yeah. And previously we were quite limited in our bandwidth, our upload bandwidth. So an hour was quite detrimental to our schedule.
We can explain that too as the next point. You want to explain that point for the production quality aspect?
So people don't know what we were going through last season. We were going through Buzzsprout primarily, and we're using a free account, so you're only allowed to upload about 2 hours of audio per, was it weekly or 2 weeks? 2 weeks. So basically an hour a week. And we were trying to do a week per episode. So had we gone, or one episode per week. So had we gone over, if we were to go over an hour for some episodes, which we did, we
definitely did. Not for some episodes.
Towards the end. Bandwidth. Yeah, we can't even upload. So you may have saw on Spotify previously, there were multiple week gaps when we could release episodes, and that was not because we weren't making content. We had the content ready. We just weren't able to upload it, and some people thought we may have been canceled, or maybe we were.
We've actually been told that because we reached the bandwidth limit, and then we stopped posting just because we got busy, as we mentioned. And I remember getting a message from a friend. Because they saw that we were delisted from Spotify because we just weren't uploading.
We didn't pay. We ran out of our 90-day period, and if you want to keep going, you have to re-upload. So you also may have saw that we took down episodes and re-uploaded them just Spotify, to reset our 90-day period.
That's true. So we did a lot of hacky things. That's an aspect of the production behind the scenes that we're changing this season. More dedicated hosting. I love the Spotify platform. We're not sponsored by them yet. Hopefully, I'm kidding, but
hey, we get to a certain amount of listeners, we might be. So I'm afraid. Please help us out. But on that topic of next season or this coming season and what we're trying to do and how that relates to last season and what our kind of struggles and issues with production quality, we're gonna make it a lot easier for you to access us and for you to see us in what we're doing versus maybe just one episode every couple weeks where you guys couldn't see what was going on behind the scenes or in between. That's one of the things we wanted to hit with this season is, one, a social media presence, and two, just like more access to what we're doing on the day-to-day, maybe behind the scenes of what's going on recording, some of the, conversations that don't necessarily make the cut. Not to say we cut anything previously because
we didn't.
Totally unscripted.
Our edit, I will be honest with you, and that's going to segue perfectly to my next point, was me finding the spots where our Zoom call, it was very hacky. We had a Zoom call 45-minute limit. We would silence ourselves for like 10 seconds and then split in the two clips from a 45-minute Zoom call and a 30-minute Zoom call.
Yeah. Well, for Sheldon's episode, that was the longest one, right? We actually had to do three calls.
3 Zoom calls.
So it wasn't just one stitch. It was another, maybe even 4.
Yeah.
It was a bunch because we ran out quite a bit. It was multiple calls because we also had like a recap call afterwards.
We did.
Like a debrief.
Did.
So it was probably 4 calls. Stitched 3 together.
We had quite a bit of calls, and so that's something we're trying to figure out this season too. Like, I think what we're saying this season is that we want to basically ensure more of the quality and integrity of the videos that we're doing, because now we're adding the audio and video component. Additionally, we want to make sure that the quality of the sound is good, and that the content also flows more naturally. So I think a lot of that is a bit more prep work on our end, but
we're not guaranteeing anything.
Yeah, we're not.
Right.
It's aspirational, and hopefully you'll see it improve over time. Like, be patient with us. At the end of the day, we just want you guys to be entertained.
Yes, that's the one thing we can guarantee.
Yeah,
not that you're entertained, but we'll try to entertain.
We'll try to entertain
ourselves. That we can guarantee.
Exactly. And then I think the thing is, with the quality stuff, we want to also entertain you and give you a pleasant experience where you would love to, listen to it every week. So those are aspects that I think are good personal growth things for us too, because it's a good skill to have to know how to edit this stuff, be able to engage. I think the biggest thing I'm most excited about, though, is the social media presence. Like, being able to actually talk to people, get ideas, and also get people's feedback on things, or like if they have a shitty startup idea they want us to explore, like, we'd love to hear it. Like, I realize how hard it is for you or anyone or even myself to write someone an email.
Yeah.
Like a
when
DM on Instagram.
bigdata.dimsum@gmail.com, which still exists, by the way. If
you can still hit us up.
And you want to hit us on that, you can still hit us up. It is live, and hopefully we can still receive emails on that thing. But
hopefully we didn't get
now you can slide in our DMs. Our handle is bigdata.dimsum, the same shit we're working with.
And you'll know it's us because it's the cover art you're used to on Spotify.
You'll know it's us, yeah.
And we'll be posting there more too, just to get you guys, some teasers of what's coming up. I think that's it for me on the what we want to do for next season, or what we would have done better this season that we want to take into next season. Anything we want to talk about regarding last season still, or you want to move on and just give them the whole idea of what
maybe just move on. I mean, I think you well covered it. So I mean, Ryan and I both are super excited for this coming season. We kind of gave a glimpse of it, of like the social media presence, but how that's going to tie in. We're super excited because it kind of, we're going to try to introduce and implement some of those previous like OG days back in, whether that's high school or childhood, where you guys get a glimpse of what our original talks were like in those environments, right? So and probably most people don't know, but we used to just find the most obscure spots and just hang out for hours just chatting. For instance, just in my car outside a sushi restaurant.
His Honda Fit, bro. Like,
just outside a sushi restaurant, just chatting after we ate for hours, right?
Yeah.
Through the night, and kind of having that social media presence, being able to record shorter videos for those who are attention span challenged. Like,
that's me. I watch all the reels
myself. It'll be great because you can see clips of what that was like, and kind of get to know us better. And that was one of the things last season where we felt like maybe you guys didn't get to know us as well, because we were interviewing so many great interviewees who were telling us such great ideas, but we didn't really get to dive into our experiences and our perspectives and kind of what made the whole origin story of this show, right? And that's kind of just you and me chatting about this in an open setting and back to our roots kind of thing. So super excited for that. Also, for those of you who don't know, this will be interesting in the social media angle, because I have to relearn kind of social media.
He does not use social media.
I've kind of been off the grid for like 6, 7 plus years now. So
he won't use his personal social media, but he will use bigdata.dimsum. The only way to reach Michael, if you didn't DM Michael,
if you want to talk to me, DM. Hey, that's good for business. Hey, we thinking like it's good for business. So anyone who wants to talk to me, just DM our bigdata.dimsum.
Don't text him; he will not respond. But if you message bigdata.dimsum, Michael will respond to you instantly. Our guarantee.
For people who do have my number, if you text me, I will respond. But other social media, I'm not too great with. It's just, I don't know. I just have cut it out of my life, and it's not something that I felt like I needed. But for this business case, I feel like it's a worthy reason. So I'm willing to dive back into it. I'll start tiptoeing back into it, and who knows? Maybe I'll start on my own Instagram once again in the future. Who knows?
Yeah,
but
he still has one.
company
It's
only.
just
I just don't even use it. Don't even have my phone. Don't nothing. But hey, company only for business purposes. I'm there. I'm there for you. I'm there for you guys.
We're there for you guys. But
we are
there for you guys together. Yeah. That's really well said, Michael. I think it's the big thing is kind of like in, this podcast, as much as we like talking to each other and our friends, like, yeah, we want to be a conversation as well. Like that's something we reflected on that we did talk about where we ask for feedback every episode.
Yeah.
We're making it easier to do that. We're making it easier to be more accessible. And overall, like, I think the biggest thing I'm most excited for next season, and that's probably the next question I have for you, is just, like, I am really excited to really get back into the roots of what we did this for and get into a more natural state. And also exploring with different ideas. Like, we have different ideas in the pipeline that are very true to the podcast.
Yeah.
More importantly, true to us, as the people that we are, the friendship that we share, and the friendships that we have with our upcoming guests who... we can't tease that yet because we have no list.
So that is something that stayed consistent from season to season.
Yes,
we will tease that we have exciting guests coming, but do we know
who it is yet?
Maybe not. So that is something that stays consistent.
Yeah, it will stay consistent. We're going to bring people on. It might be repeat guests. It might be the same core group. It might be new guests or friends.
It might be multiple guests, right?
Exactly.
That was something that we teased last season. Maybe like, hold up. Maybe we can bring, like, we had... What do we have? 4 guests last season?
Yeah,
what if we were doing a recap episode where we brought all 4 of those guests on, introduced a new topic, new idea, possibly generated by you out there, just DM us, and then, just talk shit, brainstorm that idea. And that was something that we thought we might do last season, and that's something that we possibly could do this season.
Yeah, so I think we're really excited that, like, we're kind of giving you, like, consistency in terms of what you're used to and what you like about the podcast. We also want to introduce things that will just be more engaging, maybe hit a certain thing you like more. For example, some people like the shitty startup idea. They're like, I don't care about this person. Who is this person? Who's this Sheldon guy,
No, why are you picking on Sheldon?
No, sorry.
Who's this Ryan guy? Who's this Michael guy? Yeah.
I'm picking on Sheldon. Sheldon's actually a great guy for everyone that knows him personally. Super cool guy. That's not sarcastic, but like, I really like Sheldon. But
no, it's fine. I like him too.
But who's this Ryan guy? No one cares if this Ryan or Michael guy. But that's all to say that, like, we'll have segments where it will be focused on, like, for example, the shitty startup idea, where we'll talk about ideas maybe user generated, and we'll talk about that, break it down, and just make that the focus. Or we'll have ones where it's very interview heavy, where we talk about our upbringing, growing up to 626. We're talking about different aspects of just being Asian American.
Yeah.
Or just even crazy stories we had growing up.
We got so many crazy stories, and that was one of the things last season I wish we talked about. Like,
yeah.
Like there was ways that I felt like we could have opened it up in terms of, like, whether we're talking about culturally or even some of the startup ideas that we can segue into. Hold up, this is a great anecdote.
Yes.
I didn't mean to cut you off.
No. I continue, man.
I just want to say in terms of, like, the aspects that I would be looking forward to most next season. It's just sharing our anecdotes and other, people and the people we interview, their anecdotes on some of the crazy stories. Just, I feel like you and I have seen quite a bit. And some of those stories, people are always like, what the hell? Like,
they're surprised and they're like...
And these things happened. I mean, obviously we probably won't name names, but it's...
We'll anonymize it, but the facts of it are interesting.
Yeah, that was one of the things that I wished we probably touched on a little more, is just to give people a flair for what our personalities were, what the kind of lens we saw, our basically our childhoods and our adolescent lives, like what we went through, and kind of share that with our listeners.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I think that perfectly sums it up. That's all I really wanted to say about the next season. Like, different aspects, different ways of exploring the same concepts, and a deeper look into us. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you're not excited, we're sorry, but we're excited.
Yeah.
So
we hope you're excited.
We hope you're excited.
Yeah.
And you know what? We can't, as we mentioned, and I mentioned, Ryan mentioned, we can't guarantee you'll enjoy this. We hope you do, but we can guarantee we'll try to make you enjoy it. And we'll guarantee that we'll enjoy it, right? And if you want to see us enjoying ourselves, pause. if you want to see us, if you want to see us having a good time, double pause.
Let me talk here. If you want to see us being pleased,
that's not organic, bro. You gotta.
Okay, no.
If you want to see us
enjoying this podcast,
yes. Being entertainers.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I can't talk right now. But hey, you know it's organic, right? Because you see we're flush. So.
Well, you see that like the thing we're trying to just
we'll give it our full effort to make it enjoyable for you guys.
Yeah.
And at the bottom line is we want to have fun with this show, right?
Yeah.
And we're gonna do everything we can so that Ryan and I have fun with these lighthearted topics. You know, just and some serious topics as well, and just spitballing and shooting the shit, which is what we love to do. Mm-hmm. And we just hope that you enjoy it, and we'll try to produce content that you will hopefully enjoy. That is what I wanted to say.
And that was very elegant, you know? Like, it took a couple of tries to get there, right?
Took a lot.
You're seeing all the takes in real time, but no, very beautifully said. I agree with every point there. Yeah, we just want it to be a full, fun experience. You know, like, at the root of it, like, we just want it to be something we enjoy and look forward to every week going into. So,
yeah.
We hope that that's the case for you when you're listening to it, whether you're commuting to work, you know, going to school, wherever you're at. Hope this podcast brings you joy. Yeah,
just, you know, exciting things on the horizon. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I think I've about spoken on everything I wanted to speak on, just in terms of last season and this coming season. But, you know, we hope you're excited. Like, we're really excited, and there's lots to come. And I think as we mentioned, the social media aspect will unlock a new element to our show that'll be really fun. Props to our social media manager. Who's also my girlfriend, by the way. So
yeah.
Very, very, very excited for that involvement, and you know she's quite talented. So we're very excited to have her backing us, and you know we know we have a lot of great network and friends out there who support us. So you know we just want to make good content for them and for you, for everyone listening.
And we're really thankful for again the support of season 1 so far. Like everyone who actually wrote to us, talked to us, debated us on topics.
We love it. We love it, by the way. For everyone who reaches out to us, if you can probably guess, we love it because we have no one. So.
Yeah. It's heartwarming, too, when like people message you about, like, dude, I really like that episode. Like, just learning more about that and just hearing people listen to it in, like, very casual settings on their commute. Like, that was really, like, eye-opening for me, you know? Like, I'm very appreciative for, like, every single person that we were able to talk to that listens to us. And I think that's the thing.
Word of mouth, organic growth.
Yeah. We even got listeners in Russia.
We're all over. We don't know who's
international, bro. We got 6 listeners.
We don't discriminate. We love every listener. We can take what we can get. So we appreciated it.
Yeah. I think that's a wrap for this episode. You know, this is season 1 recap. Season 2 is fast approaching. So we hope that you'll tune in. We hope that you like what's ahead, and we'd love to hear your feedback on what you actually want to see season 2 also. Yeah. Because that roadmap's still in flux.
Hit us up. You know exactly where to hit us up. BigData.dimsum at gmail.com too.
At gmail.com too, yeah.
But check us out on IG. We'll be, you know, if you have ideas for, you know, even feedback for our show or, you know, this recap episode, and if you had thoughts on last season, we'd love to hear that too. You know, we never had a forum. Maybe that's because we didn't receive the email or no one uses the email. So
no, we use the email. We checked. We
checked
once.
Bottom line is we love you guys and we're excited for this season, and you know, don't be shy in terms of reaching out and saying, hey, you guys look stupid. That's fine too. We appreciate anything.
Yeah, as long as it's constructive. You look stupid, but you could change this by your style,
exactly.
You know?
Hey. Yeah. Change your shirt. Okay.
Yeah. You're also an idiot too. You're an idiot, but you can read. You know, like
exactly.
Just add something to it to let us know how to be better. You know.
We can go on for hours and days with this stupid shit.
Yeah, we can rip on this stupid shit. So
you can check our Instagram for this kind of stuff. It will be on the
We'll
reels.
post stupid stuff each.
We got to run that by our social media manager
first. Exactly. Because we actually don't want to get seriously canceled.
Yeah, we're committed to producing quality content and staying on Spotify. Yes. And we're opening up to more channels, hopefully. Like, we'll probably open up to YouTube. You know, we're on Instagram, so check us out. Follow us. BigData.dimsum. But that about wraps it up, right?
Yeah. Thank you again for listening. And I guess we got to say
peace.